Hello friends, this is Astrologer Mohnish once again, and thank you for watching my videos about Vedic Astrology. This is episode 5 of how to read your own chart, and in this video we'll be talking about our planet, Prince planet Mercury. We spoke about Sun and Moon in our previous videos, and I highly encourage to my audience, my viewers, if you have not my previous videos, especially the prerequisite where I have spoken about what to read and how to read, then please go back and watch those videos and come back to this video. So Mercury is a very powerful planet, one of the most important planets in our natal chart. Why? Because Mercury rules your intelligence. Mercury rules our intellectual mind. Mercury is our power of reasoning and power of applying our practical side and an IQ to solve problems of our life. Like we spoke about Moon in our previous video, Moon is your emotional mind, your thought process, which is being surfacing through your emotions, through your subconscious mind, and how you feel as the world is reacting to you is all ruled by Moon. The emotional perspective, the emotional sense, the emotional side of your internal subconscious mind. But the practical part of your life, the reasoning power, your intellectual skills, your practical side, and your decision making is being ruled by planet Mercury. So Mercury in your chart, if it is very strong, consider you are a brilliant person. Consider you're very practical and you're very intelligent. But if Mercury is weak, you will see the different results. So in this videos, I'm not still showing you how to see whether your planets are strong or weak, because that comes in the next step. Once you understand where the energy is sitting in your 12 house systems, you will be able to understand that where your emotional mind is sitting, where your soul is sitting, and where your practical mind is sitting. How can you gain the material benefits? Because to gain anything in this life, you need material benefits. And your thinking power, practical power, and your decision making allows you to gain anything in your material, anything from material benefits perspective. If you want to achieve spirituality or grow your subconscious mind and grow your conscious levels, then you need your emotional mind, your Moon. But if you want to attract something, attract wealth, attract property, or be successful in your business or any other sphere of life, you need a practical intelligence. Okay? And that practical intelligence is ruled by Mercury. So I hope you're understanding the concept. So don't get confused when we talk about Moon and Mercury, because they both represent your mind. Moon is your emotional mind, Mercury is your practical mind, which helps you achieve anything in your life, because your decision making is ruled by Mercury. When you think something, then you apply a logic, apply analytical thinking, and then take a decision through practical aspect. That is where the Mercury comes into the picture. And to make things simpler, I have made a note here so that you can note it down. See the characteristics of the planet. So Sun and Moon we talk about on the top, which are sattvic in nature. And sattvic planet means the planet which illuminates you, which guides you and removes darkness from your life. And that's where the Sun and Moon are. Whereas if you see Mercury here, Mercury is a Rajasic planet. Rajasic planet means a planet which allows you to achieve material gains in life, which helps you achieve your desires, your material desires. So this is a note you can always keep in your pocket so that it will help you, and we'll talk about the other planets too as we go forward. And I have also created a note here, a special note, so that you can just keep it in the back of your pocket. You see all the 12 houses here, starting from house number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So you can just, I'm just zooming it here so that you can take a picture, snapshot, and keep it in your back pocket. And I have also mentioned what each houses represents. So we will go over each house system, talk about Mercury, so that you will understand if your Mercury is in any of these houses. You can easily understand where that energy is sitting. So now we are not talking about the strength of the planet right now, because that will come in the later videos. If the strength is good, consider you're very intelligent and you take decisions from the practical side of your life rather than the emotional side of your life. And your IQ is sharp, you're very intelligent, you can be a great speaker. Mercury will help you in any sphere of life. If Mercury is not healthy, it's not having a relevant strength what it needs, then consider there will be problem in your intelligence and your thinking power. Your brain will be in a confusion state. So we're not talking about that right now, because I don't want to confuse you. I just want to keep it simple for you, that open the chart. In the next 5 minutes you should be knowing where the energy is sitting. Every cosmic planet is an energy. Sun is your soul, moon is your mind, emotional mind, Mercury is your practical mind. So just open the chart and see where your mind, your practical mind is sitting, so that you can apply that force and see that this is the house, this is the place your practical mind is sitting, how much you can utilize it to gain in your life. So that's the whole point of knowing your chart in less than 5-10 minutes where the energy is. So we'll talk about the first house. This is the first house. If your Mercury is in the first house, so first house is a house of yourself, of your appearance. Mercury sitting in first house, your physical body, your approach towards life, it's a very, very strong house, and it makes a very strong combination, especially when your intellectual mind is sitting in first house. You will be a person who can be a very good learner, because you will have a natural curiosity to learn things. Because your Mercury is there, your mind is there, you will see things like with a different perspective. You want to know more and more, deeper and deeper. You can be a person who can talk about anything. You will always be enhancing your knowledge. You can have a very great and good conversation with anybody in any sphere of life. So Mercury in first house it's a very good combination, because first house is your house of your physical body, where your soul attained your physical body, and Mercury sitting in there gives you impeccable power to learn eloquently, understand things from the deeper perspective, and think out of the box. Like, you are not a person who just follow others. You really want to crave and make your own mark, because you want to learn. You have questions. You are a person like why, how, when, and this is a very good sign, because the more you question, the more you challenge others, the more you learn. So Mercury, and a powerful Mercury, if your Mercury has a strength and sitting in first house, you're a brilliant person, I tell you. Second house Mercury. Second house is a house of what? Money, your family, your speech also, and your food habits. So consider you will be very intelligent in making money or increasing your wealth, because your mind will create so many opportunities for you from a different perspective, out of the box, thinking of different opportunities, thinking of creating something new stream of income. Your analytical thinking will be so powerful that you will never miss an opportunity to make money. And your speech also, you will be an eloquent speaker, because you can speak so well that you can convince people instantly. And I have seen so many people in higher management positions who are leaders, and when they talk, people just cannot think anything else. Just keep focusing on them and listening to them. And where it's coming from? It's coming from their Mercury in the second house, because they use such a strong reasoning power to influence and to convince people. And second house being a house of wealth, you use your intelligence to create wealth in your life, which is very important, material benefit, right? And your food habits also, you can join that significance also. Very particular, choosy in your food habits. You are like a person who will not like anything it's in front of you. You like something something which you select, which convinces you, right? In any particular goal of your life, you want a healthy lifestyle, you will eat certain foods. If you want to eat something of a different choice, you will go with different choice of your food items. So very good sign, Mercury in second house. Second house is very powerful house. Mercury in third. Third house is this. So what does third house means? Third house is the house of your self-efforts, communication, social activity, writing, and short distance travels. Again, second house is speech, third is the communication and also the means of communication. I have seen people with Mercury in third house, they are phenomenal writers and phenomenal speakers. They speak to a point which literally convince anybody, anywhere, and also these are the people who can speak in public, who can speak in meetings, who are the people who can speak so intelligently in any seminars, in any group meetings, that they can literally wow their audience. Intelligent mind, third house of self-effort. Your intelligence is a driving force of your self-efforts, of your gains in life. If your third house is all about your self-effort, how much effort you apply to achieve something in life. It may be your learning, it may be your speech, it may be your any skills you want to apply and adopt in life. It's your third house. If the house is strong, you will have energy, willpower, discipline, purushukara to achieve anything in your life. And consider your Mercury, your intelligence is sitting there. What will happen? Your house is strong, third house, and your intelligent mind is sitting there. That is a huge combination. Your Mercury will not let you sleep easily until you finally learn something which you started to learn, because you will go to the depth to the point to extract everything, squeeze everything you can possibly to learn that thing or to apply your efforts to achieve your self goals. Mercury in third house is the most favorable position, because if you talk about the natural zodiac, third sign is Gemini, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So Mercury's original position in this Kala Chakra horoscope, we call it the horoscope of the time and era, the Mercury's original position is third house, Gemini. And third house Mercury, if Mercury is strong, you can literally turn the tables around. You can literally be a winner in terms of your intelligent mind bringing all material gains to you with your self-effort, communication, and discipline. So by the way, I have Mercury in third house. I'm giving you a hint here. So talk about the fourth house. Fourth house is the house of homeland, property, vehicles, and your assets. Not your liquid assets. Your liquid assets is second house. Money, cash, gems and jewelry, bank balance in second house. Your immovable assets, we talk about property, real estate, vehicles. These are all from the fourth house. It's also a house of your mother and your motherland. Mercury in this house, from the property or the real estate point of view, is good, because you will use your intelligence to create a lot of real estate wealth and add those wealth into your portfolio. You will always be thinking about more in terms of adding more real estate, or getting more vehicles, or using your analytical thinking in creating your beautiful home, right? But the fourth house also is a house of natural moon. So moon, it's in a natural horoscope of time and era, it's a placement of moon. So moon is emotions. So this is a place where Mercury gets little discomfortable, because this is where the emotions and the practical side of your mind are actually in conflict. So understand this. So natural zodiac starts from house number 1 Aries, 2 Taurus, 3 Gemini, and 4th is Cancer. That's a natural zodiac till the 12th house of Pisces. So 4th house is ruled by Cancer, and Cancer is ruled by Moon, and Moon is emotions. So 4th house emotions and 4th house Mercury. Now emotions and practical side is in the conflict. So not a very good placement for Mercury from your the balance of your emotions and the practical side point of view. But as I said, if Mercury is strong, Mercury is active, then it will help you with your analytical thinking or making money through real estate, or do something work from home, or do something work related items to make money, like people in civil engineering or people who are in the construction business. They use their brain power to create wealth. And this is a combination, like if your Mercury is sitting in the 4th house of your home, your property, your real estate, then anything you do related to real estate or your home or sitting and working from home can be beneficial. But from emotional point of view, you will always have a conflict, because your moon will drift you somewhere else and your practical mind, Mercury, will drive you somewhere else. So just be cautious about if you have Mercury in the 4th house. 5th house. So this is 5th house. Okay. So 5th house Mercury is, 5th house is about entertainment, passion, love, romance, innovation, and speculation also, and solutioning also. Mercury here, awesome combination, because your mind, your practical mind, is sitting in the house of innovation, house of providing solutions to others. So your energy, which is your brain power, which is your horsepower, which is your analytical thinking, in sitting in the house of even speculation also. You can always think about, making money from the stock market. And there are many combinations to see before we can come to the point whether you will be able to successfully make money on the stock market or not. But consider this, your mind is there. You always think, or you may have an ability to understand stock market speculation better than anybody else. And it's a house of innovation, product designment. If you want to innovate something, you will be very successful, because your analytical, logical mind is already there to solve problems. All this big new disruptive technologies, people creating new products, if you consider their Mercury is somewhere linked to their 5th house. That's the reason they always think out of the box. They think of the problem so fast than anybody else can do that, right? And they solve the problem so fast, right? And that's the whole point of creating something disruptive, because understanding the problem and then creating a logical roadmap of how to solve that problem. So Mercury in 5th house provides you that. Mercury in 5th house is also about love and romance. People in this Mercury in the 5th house, they are very practical in their love and romance also. They are not emotional fools, I would say that. Sorry about my language, but moon is more, make you emotional fool. So these are like practical people. I give you this, I take this. You give me this, you take this. Okay, no emotional sense, no emotional baggage, no complexities, no analysis paralysis. You do this, I do this, period. And they're very successful people because practical, right? They're not emotionally, driven in terms of their decision making. And that's the best way of living life nowadays, right? So 6th house Mercury, this is house 6. 6th house is about your job, your service, your fitness, your health, your servants, your pets. So your mind is sitting in the house of your service. Service, what you provide to others, or your job. Job is also a service. So your intellectual mind is always busy thinking about the service conditions, the services you're applying, services you're giving to others, and your job, which is a good sign, because your practical side is there. You're not emotionally attached to your job or your services. You think practically. If it is making sense to you, you will do it. If it is bringing money to your home, you will do it. Not just like emotional person sitting there, oh no, I'm attached to my job, it's giving me 9 to 5, my paycheck is coming there, and I've been going to retire from this job no matter what, even though somebody else can give me better money for this job. So that's where the moon plays a role. Oh no, I'm going to sit here no matter what. I'm going to be retiring from this place only. I'm not going to shift or change my service conditions or my job because I'm emotionally attached. Whereas the Mercury says, no, I'm not a slave. If you pay me, I'm yours. If somebody pays me better, I'm going there. So Mercury is that mind. Fitness goals, yeah, if you have Mercury in here, you will be very good in thinking about your fitness plans, chalking out the fitness plans, creating a roadmap, and love to live a fit life. And all depends on the strength of the Mercury also, which we are not talking right now, and I'll tell you how to see the strength of the Mercury. But for now, consider this 6th house Mercury, practical aspect to your service conditions, nothing emotional here. Okay, and it's also a house of your loans. So you calculate so many, from so many angles before you take any loan. And you're very practical in that. You always calculate the interest rates, the EMIs, everything before you jump and sign the document of, okay, I'm taking or borrowing this money. Okay, so 6th house Mercury, very good sign. 7th house, the most important, because it talks about your marriage, your spouse, your business. So if you are a businessman and Mercury is sitting in the 7th house, consider you are very, very fortunate, and you're a successful businessman too, because your intellectual mind will help you achieve success in business. You are a person who thinks about business from logical perspective, not like emotional perspective. You think about a business like an entity. If it's making money for you, you will continue. If it doesn't make money for you, you will shift and put your money in a different basket, because it's an entity for you. It's not a family business which you have to run no matter what. Okay, and 7th house Mercury gives you a good ability to think out of the box and create solutions and interact with people on a daily basis. So this is very good combination, especially for the business people. From your spouse perspective, marriage perspective, you are a person who thinks about marriage from a different angle. You're practical, and your thought process also remains in thinking about the activities of your spouse, knowing them better, and leading a more practical life rather than more emotional life. You are very practical in terms of your relationship, your business partners, your spouse, your marriage, and that is what's driving you, because you believe every relationship has two aspects to it. One is the emotional aspect and one is the practical aspect. So you are a person who believes in more practical aspects of a relationship rather than the emotional baggage and emotional carrying, right? And as I said, for business and daily interactions, your brain, your mind is very sharp, very strong. You can be a very good businessman, very good businessman. I normally always tell my clients, if they have Mercury in 7th house, that rather than doing a job, do a business. You'll be more successful in that. Depending on the 10th house also, where their career is, karma is, but 7th house Mercury for business is very good sign. Now 8th house, this is 8th house. 8th house is house of what? Intimacy, occult science, astrology, secret services, intelligence in anything underground, criminal activities. So if your mind, your practical mind and your intelligence, that energy sits in 8th house, what you should be doing? If you come to me with your horoscope and your Mercury sitting in 8th house and somebody asks me what should be my career, I will tell them to become a lawyer instantly, to become a criminal lawyer, because the way you think, nobody else would be able to think. You will be able to solve cases like this, because your mind thinks like what criminal thinks, not in a bad way, in a positive way, to solve a case, to understand the depth of how the criminals act and behave and what they try to hide, how they hide. For a secret service agent, for a spy, for a cybersecurity consultant, 8th house Mercury is awesome. If you're in IT and your Mercury is in 8th house, try to be a cybersecurity consultant. Software design and software development also comes in this, because you're designing something, developing something which is not present yet but will be developed eventually once you write your code. So 8th house is very good for people who are into software development, cybersecurity, spying network, lawyers, and suspense writers. As I told you in my previous video about when your moon is here, you think so deeply and you can literally write something unimaginary. So Mercury, your intelligence is here. Awesome sign for being an astrologer also, because you can understand things from a different perspective. You can create a new methodology for astrology, for occult sciences also. But I feel for spying, secret services and lawyers, this is awesome sign. Close your eyes if your Mercury is here, and if you are doing your graduation, just go for the law degree I guarantee you, you will be the most successful person. And depending on the strength of the Mercury. If Mercury is weak, that will cause problem. But there are ways to strengthen the planet. And I can tell you that also if you reach out to me. I hope it's making sense. So ninth house. Ninth house is a house of higher education, learnings, philosophy, religion, ethics, father, and dharma. So your mind is there, your intellectual mind is there, your practical mind is there. Constantly you are a learner. You're always a person who want to learn more and apply your learnings every day in your life. You think differently, you question a lot, you challenge people, you challenge people's mind and philosophy, and you bring your own philosophy. Because that's your mind is. You are not convinced so easily. Mercury does not make you a person who get convinced so easily. Mercury is a question. Mercury always put a question mark. Why? How? When? And then sometimes it bogs your mind also, because you get so much of crazy questions in your head. It's not easy for you to digest things so easily, because your Mercury is your analytical mind, which is always chirping chick 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 in your head and asking you questions and questions till it finds its own answers. So for Mercury, for people who have Mercury in ninth house, they're constant learner. They apply their knowledge in creating more philosophical structure of life. They are very law abiding, and their life is, or practical side is, ruled by certain principles of life. Do this good, do this bad, do this good, do this bad. And that's a great sign, because the law and the religion is always seen from the ninth house. If you have a Mercury, your practical side in this house, you will be very good law abiding person. And you can be a very religious person from the practical standpoint, not like going to temples or place of worship every day, but your practical mind believes that there is a God, there is a creator, there is a super force somewhere present in this world who is governing the whole world. But you are not a person who will be just going every day to the temples, churches, or any other religious places, because your practical mind is not believing in any superstitious. Okay, your practical mind believes in good acts, good law abiding, good religious practices, but not like following somebody, whatever other people are telling you. You are a person who can create your own philosophy. So I hope you're following it and it's making sense to you. If you have any questions, you can always come back to me, send me an email, and I will reply you back. So talk about Mercury in 10th house. This is 10th house, and 10th house is house of status. It's a house of your reputation, management skills, and your fame, long-term goals and masculinity, and your career, your karma, house of karma. So Mercury again here is a very strong combination, because your intellectual mind is sitting in the house of your karma, your actions, your deeds. And if you are practical about your deeds, you're always focusing on the results. What are the results you're getting for whatever that time and the money and the resources you're spending? Is it increasing your status or not increasing your status? So you think analytically out of the box to create your status, or to maintain your status, or to apply your career, your karma, in such a way that gives you more and more benefits. Very good sign for politicians. If your Mercury is sitting in the 10th house, you can be a very, very good political leader, because you are focused about your status, about your image and your actions, and you know that people will follow or keeping a close eye on your actions. So you will think about how you modify or maintain or manipulate your actions so that your image is always bright and people are following you. Very good sign, because your intelligence is leading your karmas. And if you understand this logic, that how your karmas create your image in the society, then you will always use your intelligence mind to decrypt that or decode this mystery, that how people follow you, what people think about you. You don't have to be a person of similar kind internally. Internally you could be anything, but outside how you are, what people think about you, That matters a lot. And that's what the life we are living in, my dear friends. We don't care how we think internally. All we care is what people are thinking about us. So 10th house Mercury, if your karmas is joined with your practical side of your mind, of your thought process and all your actions, then consider it's a very powerful combination. You can be a very successful politician. You are a person in a higher management skills. You know how to climb the ladder in the corporate sector, because you can manipulate your image, you can play with your image, or you can make your image in certain way so intelligently that people consider you are the boss, and you are the boss, and this makes you the boss because you know intelligently how to play the personality game, the status game. And that is very important. Don't take it negatively, because this is what we need. This is one of the biggest skill what people are lacking nowadays. And if you talk to me and you make me your life coach, I will teach you how to maintain and make this skill in you to climb that corporate ladder. And that's what everybody wants. And anything you want to do in any public domain, maybe in your office, maybe as a politician, first thing what matters is how people see you. And if you use your intelligence mind to create that perspective, that how people perceive you, consider you are winning. You are a great gambler in terms of your status and your identity and your personality, how people perceive you. Awesome sign, my favorite people, with Mercury in 10th house. No offense. 11th house Mercury. 11th house is house of your expansion, your group activity, your social awareness and your future wishes. So again, your mind, 11th house, as I told, is very strong when it comes to manifest your desires. 11th house is the house which gives you all the desires of your life. And if your mind, your practical side is there, you are very good in controlling and maintaining your desires and also achieving those desires meticulously, easily, and in a most practical way. You are very active socially. People come and reach out to you for their problems and you help them. You like people connected to you. You are a person who loves to have a social media account and always count how many likes you get every day when you post a picture, because that's what your practical mind is. You don't do anything without you see any gains coming in. And for your 11th house, Mercury means you are always person of knowing where the gain is coming from, and expansion of gains is the major criteria in your life. Social activity, group friends, this is what all takes you in. Your practical side is used to create that expansion in terms of your material benefits, manifestation of your desires. It's not easy to come without you being practical. Emotional people, they get sad when they see some of their group people are leaving them. But you're not that person who will be sad. Oh, you don't care if somebody leaves your group. If one leaves, you will bring 10 more very easily. You're a smart person. You think logically. You think from the different side of this holistic nature, where you understand that it's a practical life which drives the whole material benefits. It's not an emotional life. You're not an emotional fool who gets bound to things and start bringing the emotional baggage. You don't care if your social people, your group friends leave you, because if one leaves, you will bring 10 more. So very good sign, and you know how to increase, expand your desires, and how to achieve those desires by utilizing your brain power. So last, we're going to talk about the 12th house. This is 12th house. 12th house is house of healing, spirituality, hospitalization, asylum, expenses, investment, you name it. 12th house is a very important house, because first house is, this is a house when your soul enters this world. And this is a house when your soul exits the world. So both houses are very important, 1 and 12. So Mercury, intelligent mind, is here. Talk about the investments. Awesome investor. You will always invest money in the places where it will bring fruit and grow your wealth. Foreign land, your mind can be also somewhere thinking about foreign travel or settling in the foreign country. And sometimes I have also seen that Mercury in 12th house make people work for MNCs, like people who are sitting in their homeland but they're working for companies who are far off their motherland, multinational companies. They're using their intelligence for the growth of MNCs. And they can also be a person who are living abroad in a foreign land. Spirituality, yes, Mercury in 12th house can make you a very good spiritual leader because you know intelligently how to connect with people. One is Moon in 12th house makes you emotionally connected. You are painfully connected, just like Mother Teresa. She was connected with people emotionally, right? And that's why she served humanity. She served everybody emotionally. But if your Mercury is in 12th house, then there is a practical side to that spirituality, that practically you connect people. You understand their pain points and you press their pain points and you bring them together close to you so that you can heal their pain points. So consider this, you're not emotionally creating that spirituality or being a spiritual leader, you're a practical spiritual leader who thinks about the material benefits also, that if you're doing spirituality or if you're a spiritual guru, what you're getting in return. Because your horsepower, your brain, your analytical thinking, your logical mind will never let you connect with somebody in the emotional grounds. Your logical mind knows only one thing, and it's a Rajasic in nature, as I told in the beginning. Mercury only knows how to make material wealth using your intelligence. It does not care about emotions. It does not care about who you are. It just cares about this thing. I am giving you this, what you're giving me back. I am doing this, what I am going to get. I am putting my money, my time and resources, what return I'm going to go get back. So 12th house is, you're going to put your money somewhere, where do you invest and what return you're getting. If you're a spiritual healer, leader, I'm doing this spirituality, but I'm not running a charity. I need something back in return. So it's also a house of working for MNCs. Your intelligent mind is working for MNCs, making you rich. And it's also a house of where you are providing your services to foreign nations or foreign countries. So that's all about 12 houses where the Mercury is. So open your chart and see where the Mercury is sitting. And see, this is where your logical mind, your practical mind is sitting. And what you're doing at present. Are you using that practical mind in that particular sphere or not? So that is the goal, and this is an exercise I'm giving you. We have covered Sun, Moon and Mercury. Now open your chart using your Jagannath Hora software or any other software you want, and in your Bhava Chalit, in the Kaspal chart placement, not in the Lagna chart placement, see where your Sun, Moon and Mercury are sitting. So that is the first glance you should be doing in less than 5 minutes. Where your soul is, where your emotional mind is, where your practical mind is. Period. That will tell you a lot about yourself. And in our next video, we'll talk about other planets. We'll talk about Jupiter next. And we'll go a little faster because I want to cover this topic as quickly as I can so that I can give you some exercises and give you some topics to research on and start looking at how you do how you read your chart. And I'll give you a live demo also on my laptop, that how you, when you open your chart, your first 5 minutes should be seeing what. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like my video, share with your family and friends, and subscribe to my channel so that my next video can reach to you ASAP. And I will see you in my next video when we'll be talking about planet Jupiter. So until then, thank you very much, and please stay safe and stay positive. This is Astrologer Mohnish once again, and I'll sign off from you right now, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you very much.